Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Am I audible? Very good. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Janna Jaya Giri Varadhari Jaya Giri Varadhari Jaya Gopi Jana Jaya Giri Varadhari Nandana Brajanna Ranjana Nandana Brajanna Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajanna Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajanna Ranjana Yamunatira Yamunatira Vanachari Madhava Jaya Guru Jagirikari Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhattavrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Shri Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhattavrinda Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Gaura, Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jnanachandrangasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshudam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Pashyata Destarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Bol. So Hare Krishna to all of you, the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis and the Bhaktas and the Bhaktins who are assembled here. So today is a very auspicious day. And what is this day today? Nityananda Trayodasi. Appearance of Lord Nityananda. Who's this? Who's this? Who's this? Who is this? I want a different answer. Who is this? Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. But Krishna is your friend. Okay, you can, if you are in a Sakya Rasa, you can say Krishna. But we are not in that platform. So we have to call him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Lord Krishna expands himself in many forms. Innumerable forms. And these forms are not separate from his original form. Advaitam achyutam anadi manantarupam adyam purana purusham navayavvanam cha vedeshu durlabha durlabha atma bhakto govindamadi purusham tamaham vachami.
Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadimananta Rupam. God, many forms. So who's Krishna's first expansion? Balram? Balram? Lord Balram. They say Sita. What Sita? Mother Sita. Right? You have to show the respect. Right? So the first expansion of Lord Krishna is Lord Balaram. Sarva Avatari Krishna Swayam Bhagavan. Please repeat after me. Sarva Avatari Krishna Swayam Bhagavan. Tanhara Divyatiya Deha Shri Balaram. So Balaram is the Lord Balaram is the first expansion of the Supreme Lord. And from Balaram there are many other expansions. Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, and it goes on. So, the scriptures reveal that there is no difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram. They are absolute in nature. They are full of strength. They are full of beauty. They are full of knowledge. They are full of wealth. They are full of fame. And they are full of renunciation. So there's no difference. But there are two differences. So what are the two differences? In complexion, Haribol, color. You all like color, right? That's why Fair and Lovely has been introduced. Right? You want to look at the front of the mirror. Am I looking slightly fair today? Right? So the color is inside, not outside. And the color that is inside is what Bhagavan sees. And it's not the external appearance. So one is the complexion. And what is the second one? Haribol. Very nice. Give a big round of applause. Mood. I was wondering whether the answer was there. Sorry. It's actually between the complexion and the mood. So, the first aspect of complexion, Krishna is actually Shama Sundara. Right? Shama Sundara. Shama Sundara means he's like a freshly formed, rain-bearing cloud. They say, what is the color of Lord Krishna? Black. No, he's not black. He's Shama Sundara color. And what is the color of Lord Balaram? The color of newly formed spring cloud. So this is the first aspect of the difference. The second aspect of difference is the mood. Lord Krishna is in the mode of accepting service. And Lord Balaram is in the mood of offering service. There's a big difference, right? Do we all like to accept service or do we all like to serve somebody else? Right? If somebody is serving us 24/7, Haribol. Right? So, this is a fundamental difference. So, if somebody asks you, what is the difference between Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna? These are the only two fundamental differences, but otherwise they are equal in all other respects. So in every yuga, Lord Balaram exhibits so much of service, be it in Satya Yuga, be it in Treta Yuga, be it in Dwapara Yuga, be it in Kali Yuga. So Balaramji is actually the epitome of service. If somebody wants to serve nicely, all of us want to serve nicely, right? Yes or no? How many of you want to serve nicely? Raise your hand. So what you should do? You should go and cry in front of Lord Balaram. Please give me the mood to serve nicely. And when you cry continuously, then the opportunity automatically comes. What is the reward of service? What is the reward of service? Sri Ramanujacharya says the reward of service is service. Today you are preparing 10 gulab jamuns nicely. Next week, they will say, last week you have prepared 10 gulab jamuns nicely. This week you take rest. Will they say that? They will say, this time you prepare 20 gulab jamuns and also 20 rasagullas. Right? This is service because Bhagavan accepts it. There is no limit for service. They say sky is the limit when it comes to service. We should never get satisfied. Today I have done nicely. For the next 2 months, let me take nice rest. There's no question of rest in devotional service. Why? Because when we go back to Goloka Vrindavan, we have to be occupied and engaged 24/7. Of course, there is no time there. But to understand, we have to serve. Nothing else. Right? So, in the Dwapara Yuga, when Lord Balaram appeared, he expands as what? Vrindavan. Vrindavana Ramyasthana Divya Chintamani Dama Ratna Mandira Manohara. This beautiful Vrindavan is having Chintamani. And it has beautiful palaces that are loaded with jewels. And there are a lot of temples. And Balaramji actually expands as Vrindavan. He is always observing Krishna. He is observing Krishna in Shantarasa. He is observing Krishna in Dasyarasa. He is observing Krishna in Sakyarasa. He is observing Krishna in Vatsalyarasa. He is also observing Krishna in Madhurya-rasa. As Ananga Manjari, be wondering, because as Ananga Manjari, Balaramji is serving Srimati Radharani and Lord Krishna. So when Balaramji, Mother Yashoda always observes whatever Krishna is doing. When Krishna goes to herd the calves, she is looking from far off distance. She has a nice binocular. Does she have a binocular? She has got the Divya Chakshu to see what is happening. She may be cooking in the kitchen, but exactly she knows what Krishna is doing far away. So, similarly, Balramji also looks at Krishna all the time. When he comes to know that some demon is coming to attack Krishna, what does he do? The demon is so close, 100 meters close, 50 meters close, 20 meters close, 10 meters close. What does he do? He expands Vrindavan so that it becomes 10 kilometers close, 50 kilometers close, 100 kilometers close. That's it. So that is one aspect. The second aspect, when Krishna suddenly feels very homesick, he wants to see Mother Yashoda very urgently. So what happens? He is 100 kilometers away. What does Balaramji do? He contracts. Immediately, he has the connection of Mother. So this is very inconceivable. Balaramji knows exactly what Krishna wants and he is there to serve. Some people you have to tell how many times for service? Countless. Prabhuji is saying that, I'm not saying that. 10 times, 15 times, do this, do this, do this, do this. The mothers will tell the children, Baba, homework is there, please do. 10 minutes. Homework is there, please do. 5 minutes. Homework is there, please do. 2 minutes. Nothing like that. Krishna has to only move his eyes. How many of you like Bharatanatyam? Only Matajis? Prabhujis don't like Bharatanatyam? It's also a beautiful art, right? So if you see the Bharatanatyam dancers, They will just move their eyelids. They'll move their eyes actually. So similarly, Krishna will just move his eyes and Balramji is already completed the service. How beautiful, right? So that is the beauty of Lord Ram. Second of all, Balramji is actually becomes the shoes of Krishna. He becomes the jewels of Lord Krishna. He becomes the peacock feather. He becomes the cloths. He becomes the flute. And he becomes all the paraphernalia. And he serves Lord Krishna in the way he wants to be. So when Lord Mahavishnu, from whom everything emanates, when he becomes very tired and he wants to take rest, what is the bed for Lord Mahavishnu? Anantasesh, Adisesh. We have Adisesh here. Where is Adisesh? See, he's here. Adisesh is there, and Lord Vishnu sleeps very peacefully. When Lord Vishnu feels hot, Adisesh ensures that he makes the environment cold. When Lord Vishnu feels cold, he makes the environment very hot or warm. So, this way, Lord Balaram is always there to serve Lord Krishna. Now let us talk about Lord Lakshman in the Treta Yuga. If we don't glorify Lord Lakshman, the class is incomplete. So here, when there is joy or when there is sorrow, there is service. Lord Ram was banished for how many years? For 14 years he was banished. And as per the scriptures, a chaste wife has to follow the husband. Yes or no? But does it mention that if the elder brother is banished, the younger brother also has to follow? Has it mentioned anywhere? If the elder brother goes on banishment, the younger brother will say, Balle, Balle. He'll celebrate. Oh, now I am in complete control. Thank God this fellow is gone. Right? Maximum litigation cases happen between brothers. Do you know that? Father has given you so much extra. He has not given me so much extra. So this is what is the condition of the material world. But Lord Lakshman, voluntarily on account of his own sweet will, decided to follow Lord Ram, the course of banishment. In the morning, he used to serve Mother Sita and Lord Ram, and the evening he used to guard. So for 14 years, he did not sleep. When we don't sleep for 1.5 days, what will happen? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because we are so conditioned. But Lord Lakshman, for 14 years, he did not sleep. Why? Because he wanted to serve the Supreme Lord. He was not worried about his own comfort. He was willing to take the discomfort so that he can serve the Supreme Lord very, very nicely. And the beauty is, 14 years he is with his brother and his sister-in-law, whom he considered as mother and father. He has never seen the face of Mother Sita. He has only seen the lotus feet of Mother Sita. So look at his mood of service. So this is the beauty of Lord. So now let us glorify Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So in Kali Yuga, Lord Balarama appeared as Lord Lakshmana in which Yuga? Treta Yuga. And in Kali Yuga, Balarama comes as Nityananda Prabhu. Sarva Rupe Aishwarya Krishna Sevananda Se Balarama Gaura Sanghe Nityananda. So he takes all the transcendental form to take the bliss of service. The same Balarama appears as Lord Nityananda as eternal companion of Sri Gauranga. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Panchatattva Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar Pandit, Srivas. They are the main team who have actually spread the Sankirtan movement. So, we are actually very insignificant. How do we say that we are very insignificant? We are actually in a spirit soul. We are all spirit souls. And how much is the size of the spirit soul? 1/10,000th time of the tip of the hair. But this person, this personality, what does he want? He wants to enjoy, enjoy, and enjoy. Whereas Nityananda Prabhu, who is the supreme personality of Godhead, has appeared in order to serve, 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 and serve. If Nityananda Prabhu wants to choose one thing as his eternal service, he will say he wants to serve the Supreme Lord. So when we have to glorify Lord Nityananda Prabhu, it is said that it may be possible for us to hold the sun in our palm. It may be easy to break the mountain using our head. It may be possible to count the stars in the sky. It may be possible to count the raindrops in the rain shower. It may be possible to count the atoms on the ground, but it is impossible to glorify or impossible to substantiate the greatness of Nityananda Prabhu. That is his greatness. It's impossible to count. Lord Adisesha, when he is actually sleeping, when Lord Mahavishnu is sleeping, he thinks, oh my Lord, I have how many hoods? How many hoods does Lord Adisesha have? 10,000 hoods. 10,000 hoods means he has got 10,000 eyes, 10,000 ears. No, 20,000 eyes, 20,000 ears, and how many tongues? 10,000 tongues. And he says, it is not enough to have 10,000 tongues in order to actually glorify your greatness. So similarly, it is impossible to glorify the greatness of Nityananda. Parama Karuna Bahudvijana Nitai Gaura Chandra Sabha Sarasiromani Kevala Ananda Kanda Kevala Ananda Kanda. So both Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu are the epitome of compassion. They are so compassionate for the fallen souls in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, they have given us the Sankirtan movement, and it is actually the Yuga Dharma. Sankirtan movement is a Yuga Dharma, and they have made our life very, very easy for us to progress in Krishna consciousness. Now, how many of you have seen the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda? Obviously, everybody, right? Is there anybody who has not seen the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda? Raise your hand. Only 1, 2, 3, 4. Slowly their hands are rising. Okay, those who have seen the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, how many markings are there on his lotus feet? How many markings are there on his right foot? How many markings are there on his left foot? Yes. How many markings are there on his right foot? Make a wild guess. 9? Your answer is close. Who said 11? Haribol. Right, Mataji. How many markings are there on his left feet? Left foot? 16, 9, 12. Very good. 12 markings. So 11 and 12 markings. So let us see what are these markings. Can you recognize these markings? Yes, please. Let us make it fast. Conch shell, lotus, chakra, flag, plow, bow, arrow, moon, altar. What else? Fish, creeper, umbrella, sky, creeper. That's not to see this creeper. Okay, let's see what these individual markings mean. Conch. When the mark represents all auspiciousness. So when we catch hold of Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet, we are assured of all auspiciousness. Lotus. Lotus represents the greed for transcendental nectar. The bees actually go to the lotus flower to take honey. So we also should be like bees to go and take the transcendental nectar that is coming out of Lord Nityananda's lotus feet. Then comes discs. This cuts our 6 anarthas. What are the 6 anarthas? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, and Matsarya. So when we catch the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, we are assured that our anarthas will be cut. Plow. Plow removes all our nasty weed-like desires. We have so many desires. And sometimes we desire, but we don't deserve. That becomes more complicated. So unwanted desires, like how the plow removes the weeds. Similarly, the plow, Lord Nityananda Prabhu's plow removes all the unwanted desires from our heart. Gold helps us to control our mind. We all say, no, we are not able to control the mind. So if we want to control our mind, the only way is to actually fall at the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. Arrow or thunderbolt actually smashes all our karmic reactions. For many, many births, we have done so many sins, and we are actually reaping the outcome of these sinful reactions. So if you want to remove these sinful reactions, again, our shelter is going to be Lord Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet. Half moon. Half moon represents cooling rays. You know, when we are in summer, and if somebody gives you a very nice cool drink, how is it? Very nice, right? So we are all in this samsara. We are experiencing so many difficulties, right? We are actually, going through so many problems that it is countless. So if you want absolute peace of mind and to have a very calm mindset, I think the cooling rays from Lord Nityananda's lotus feet is there to save us. Altar. We give havis to the altar, right? Different types of havis. Sometimes we pour ghee, we put flowers, we put fruits, we put so many things. So it gets burned down and it goes to the Supreme Lord. Similarly, all our sinful reactions are burnt up. Then rose apple, the lotus feet are only the worshipable object. So there is nothing else that we have to seek for. So this is on the right foot. Now let us see about the left feet. Left foot. Sky. Sky is all pervasive supremacy of Lord Nityananda. Then umbrella. Whenever there is heat, we take the umbrella. Whenever there is rain, we take the umbrella. So there is actually a source of protection. The club kills our sinful reaction. The cow hoof, we are having the ocean of worldly existence is reduced to a the footprint of a small calf so that we can easily cross over. Then the flower is so soft. Lotus feet of Lord Nityananda Prabhu is so soft that he is ready to accept us. The picture is actually it has nectar inside, and it is actually a source of all auspiciousness and happiness. And the creeper is steady progress in Krishna consciousness. Spear actually removes our entanglement and difficulties. And last one, fish. Fish, if it's out of water, is it happy? It's not happy, right? It will die. So similarly, when we are actually in Krishna consciousness, we are always having a blissful time. So Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So from this, what do we understand? We understand that it's very important for us to meditate on the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. Now, so where was Lord Nityananda Prabhu born? Eka Chakra. Has anybody been to Eka Chakra? Raise your hand. How many of you have been to Eka Chakra? Only 1, 2, 3, 4. How many of you have been to Mayapur? Okay. Do we want to go now to Mayapur? Right? No need to buy tickets. No need to cross the customs security. No need to be frisked. No need to do anything. What we have to do then in order to go to Eka Chakra? Only to lend our ear. And through the transcendental sound, we are automatically exported. So this picture you see on the screen is actually the place where Nityananda Prabhu was born. This place is called Eka Chakra in Mayapur. So 500 years ago, how many years ago? 500 years ago, Lord Krishna appeared in Navadvip as whom? As Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Lord Balaram appeared as Nityananda Prabhu. So here if you see, when Nityananda Prabhu was born, that place had a lot of drought. What is a drought? There was no rainfall. Immediately after his birth, there was actually a lot of rain and everything was in abundance. So this is actually an auspicious sign because he is none other than Lord. So who was the father of Lord Nityananda Prabhu? Hadai Pandit and Padmavati Devi. So on the 13th day, Trayodasi of the bright fortnight of Shukla Paksha, Lord Nityananda was born. So he was looking so beautiful and he had wide eyes. It was almost touching up to his ear. And he was decked with a lot of ornaments. And the ornaments looked so beautiful when it actually touched his effulgent. His lips was as red as a crimson. So it is all sign of great auspiciousness. Everybody has a particular color they like. Yes? Yes or no? Radhapran Prabhu, what color do you like? Blue. Haribol. Nityananda Prabhu also likes blue. Why does he like blue? He always wears only blue dress. Why does he like to wear blue dress? Because he wants to always be constantly reminded of Lord Krishna. It's actually Sham Sundara color. So every activity that we do, we have to Krishnaize ourselves, right? And Nityananda Prabhu was no exception to this rule. So Lord Nityananda Prabhu, when he was young, he was called as Nitai. And he was actually enacting so many pastimes of Krishna and so many pastimes from the Ramayana. He used to tell these pastimes so authoritatively, the people in Eka Chakra were completely mesmerized. They said, how do you know all this? Nitai, Nimai, you are a very small boy. So what did he say? What was his response? What did he say for this? What was his response? He said, it is my pastimes. And because of Yogamaya, nobody could actually understand what Nityananda Prabhu had actually meant. So, Nityananda Prabhu, being the eternal companion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was waiting for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be born. The day when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born, what had happened? He started roaring in happiness. Why he was roaring in happiness? Why was he roaring in happiness? Because the Lord of his life has actually appeared in Navadvip. So he was very, very happy about it. So everything was going fine. Everything was going very fine. So when Nityananda Prabhu was around 12-13 years, there was a traveling sannyasi, Parivrajaka Charya. The sannyasi came to the residence of Nityananda Prabhu, and both his father and mother, Padai Pandit and Padmavati Devi, served the sannyasi so very nicely. And Padai Pandit, when the sannyasi was about to leave, he said, I would like to give you something. So what did the sannyasi ask? Sorry? I want your son, so that he can serve me. Because I actually keep traveling a lot. I need some good assistant who can actually serve me. So the father became completely mesmerized and he said, oh my God, sir, I will come. My son doesn't know anything. So he said, no, I don't need anybody else to come except your son. So in the olden days, when any sannyasi visits and if they asks for any of your relative, that means you'll have to forget them. Why? No WhatsApp, no Zoom, no Facebook, no telecommunication, nothing. Once they are given, you have to. So, respecting the requirement of the sannyasi, the son was given to the sannyasi, and Nityananda Prabhu was about to leave Ekachakra. The trees started dying, the birds started dying, and there was a complete river of tears, because every single person in Ekachakra liked Nityananda Prabhu more than their own children. So in the mood of separation, everybody started feeling that, sadness, and they started feeling very, very upset about it. Then what had happened? The father and mother stopped eating and sleeping. During Ekadasi day, what happens? We don't eat. Eating also we can control. Can we control sleep? Very difficult. So the father of Nityananda Prabhu, father and mother of Nityananda Prabhu, stopped eating and sleeping. So Padmavati Devi, the mother of Nityananda Prabhu, came to her husband. He said, you are still alive? What a question it is. Wife is asking the husband, you are still alive? Our son has gone. Look at Dasharatha, King Dasharatha. In separation, he died. But you always say, my son, my son, my son, and you are still alive? What was the response of Padai Pandit? He said something which really pierced my heart. And I'm sure it's going to pierce your heart. He said, it is easy for us to die once and forget about the separation. But I am dying every moment thinking of Lord Nityananda. Is it not so intense, the relationship between the father and the son? Yes or no? No reaction? Yes or no? Yes. And they were thinking constantly about Nitai. And in a few months, both of them died. So Nityananda Prabhu, along with the sannyasi, traveled the length and breadth of the country. They went from Kanyakumari to Badrikashram, from Pandharpur to Puri. So they traveled a lot. It was like a daily pilgrimage. How many of you are interested in daily pilgrimage? How many of you are interested in daily pilgrimage? Raise your hand. Less than 1%, 2%, 5%. Why pilgrimage? Once in a while, holiday, vacation, we will go. Daily pilgrimage means one thing. We have to be very austere. Is it difficult or easy to be austere? Very difficult. Secondly, we need a lot of fulus to go and spend. So both things difficult. So let us only reserve it for June, July. But here it's not the case. The sannyasi and Nityananda Prabhu, they traveled 24/7, 365 days for many, many years. So Nityananda Prabhu had the opportunity to meet Lakshmipati Tirtha and Madhavendra Puri. And then Nityananda Prabhu went to Vrindavan. And he was waiting for something. What he was waiting for? He was readily waiting for the news that Lord Chaitanya has started the Sankirtan movement. He was just waiting for the day when he came to know that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has started the Sankirtan movement. He waited and waited for a long, long time. And once he got the story, once he got the news that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has started the Sankirtan movement, he left Vrindavan and he went directly to Navadvip. And did he meet Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately? No. He didn't meet. So he was in hiding. Where he was hiding? You see the picture here? He was hiding in Ishodhyan, the home of Nandan Acharya. So we may be wondering, why did Nityananda Prabhu hid himself? Why did he hide himself? Because he wanted to experience the separation from Nityananda Prabhu. If you go to a house and immediately they serve you gulab jamun, is there anything exciting about it? But you go to the house, they are talking. Today I made gulab jamun, today I made rasgulla, today I made biryani, I made this, I made that. But nothing is coming. Prasadam is not coming to your hand. So your anxiety will be more, right? When the prasadam will be served. When this Prabhuji is going to complete his lecture. Right? Many of you I can see are in meditation. I had my worry that nobody should meditate in my class. But I can see few people meditating on the other side. But that's meditation. We are actually deeply in thought of Nityananda Prabhu. So it is not wrong. Yes or no? Yes or no? Sometimes we'll sleep, Prabhuji. Early in the morning, 4 o'clock, we are coming. We are here. Sometimes we will feel tired. Okay, don't make this as a big topic. That too sitting on the Vyasasana. Right? So he hid in Nandan Acharya's place because he wanted to experience the mood of separation. He wanted to see his Prabhu. It is like when we go for vacation to see our grandparents. 10 days to go, 9 days to go, 8 days to go, 7 days to go, 6 days to go, 5 days to go, 4 days to go, 3 days to go, 2 days to go, 1 day to go, few hours to go, and then you see your grandparents. How nice that feeling is, right? So similarly, Nityananda Prabhu wanted to experience the separation, the Vipralamba Bhava, in order to see Chaitanya. So his ecstasy reached to a particular level, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as Paramatma, he knew that his dear associate is actually hiding in Nandan Acharya's home. So what did he do? He dispatched Srivas Pandit and Haridas Thakura. You go and pick him and bring him here. But both of them went in search. But could they find him? They couldn't find him. Because he hid himself somewhere deep inside the house. And then, who else came? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, came to look for Nityananda Prabhu. So, the cool moon and the bright sun, they were about to meet. And when they met, what happened? There was a blast. Blast of what? Hare Krishna, 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 Hare, Hare, Hare Rama. There was a downpour of eternal ecstasy. Downpour of external ecstasy. And that was actually the starting point of the Sankirtan movement. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then gave instructions to Haridas Thakura and Nityananda Prabhu to go door to door, village to village, to preach the Sankirtan movement. So, Nityananda Prabhu was about 32 years then. And he used to go beg at everybody's feet. The Supreme Personality of Godhead begging at everybody's feet, saying that, please chant the holy name. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatara. Please repeat after me. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatara. Nama Haite Haya Sarva Jagat Nistara. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatara. Nama Haite Haya Sarva Jagat Nistara. So in this Kali Yuga, the only way to go back to Godhead is to actually chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Simply by chanting the holy name, one associates with the Lord. Where is Lord Krishna now, right now? Where is he right now? Where he is right now? He is in Goloka Vrindavan. He is in Goloka Vrindavan. But you say, Hare Krishna! Where is he? He is in front of us. He is actually dancing on our tongue. So the personality may be sitting far away, happily enjoying with the gopas and the cows and the calves. But the minute you call Hare Krishna, immediately he will come. My devotee is calling me, let him sit on his tongue. Right? So in this age, you might think chanting process, these Hare Krishna people are always talking about chanting. It is so about chanting. Because that is Yuga Dharma. Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. For self-realization in Satya Yuga, what we have to do? We have to only meditate for maybe 50,000 years. Because your age will be 100,000. Treta Yuga, cut 1 0, 10,000 years. And what you will have to do? Sorry? Yajna. To Prabhuji, to understand and to by heart one sloka and Bhagavad Gita itself is so difficult for me. How can I chant so many mantras for hours together? And we need to have pure ghee. Do we get pure ghee here? We don't have happy cows. We don't have happy cows. So first of all, to chant the mantra is difficult. Second of all, the accessories that are required to have this, to perform a sacrifice, is going to be even more difficult. Dwapara Yuga, cut 1 more 0. 1,000 years. And what is our process? Deity worship. We all have beautiful deities in the house, but we have to treat them as our own children, you have to feed them how many times? At least 3 times in a day, minimum. If you can feed them more, well and good. I read in one recently in one of the videos, one Mataji was having deity of Gaurnitai. She never used to travel anywhere. 24/7, she was only paying attention to these deities. And these deities are growing. Can you believe it? Haribo! Deities were growing. And sometimes we all experience, deities will show mood. Right? They'll be very happy. They'll be smiling at us. We'll think, aha, how nicely Lord Krishna is smiling at me. How many of you have thought like that? Right? Sometimes they'll be very angry. You didn't give me boga on time. You got up late and you made boga late. Sometimes in winter, they are shivering. One day what had happened, we have a small Laddu Gopal in our house. 10:30, 10:45, we were almost sleeping. Suddenly I woke up. I told my wife, where are you? I'm here. Go put the woolen dress for Laddu Gopal. Right? Because they are living entities. Okay? They are living entities. So, that is Dwapara Yuga, deity worship. Very difficult. Kali Yuga. Gulab Jamun is there. Spoon is there. Somebody is cutting the Gulab Jamun. Open your mouth, Baba. Putting the Gulab Jamun. And only thing that you have to do is swallow. And that is Nama Sankirtan. Very easiest, but the most potent. What you can get in Satya Yuga, what you get in Dwapara Yuga, what you get in Kali Yuga, what you get in Satya Yuga, what you get in Treta Yuga, what you get in Dwapara Yuga, you get easily in. So this Nama Sankirtanam, propagation of Nama Sankirtanam is by Haridas Thakura and Lord Nityananda. They have made our life very, very easy and sublime. So Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakura used to go. They used to knock practically every door to door, like how we do some great devotees amongst us when they do book distribution. I heard this time they used to go and knock. Please buy one Bhagavad Gita. Please buy Bhagavatam set. Please buy Prabhupada book, like that. So they used to practically go door to door and knock and talk about the importance of Nama Sankirtan. Please repeat after me. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Prana Dana. Charane Dhariya Bhali, Krishna Deha Mana. Krishna is your mother. Krishna is your father. Krishna is your life. Krishna is your wealth. I fall at your feet and beg you to engage your minds in thinking of Krishna. Who's saying this? Nityananda Prabhu. To whomever is meeting on the road, inside the house. Service, worship, and surrender is what he was propagating. And he said, if you are going to be doing this, your connection is actually re-established. So the Sankirtan movement begins. Who's the main aspect? In 10-15 minutes, I'll complete the class. Don't get very excited or anxious. How long class will prolong? 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. Because the main aspect of Nityananda Prabhu's pastime is what? Yeah, Sankirtan. What is the pastime? Jagai and Madai. Jagadananda and Madhavananda. Nice name, right? So, we all know that Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivered Jagai and Madai. Who are these two great personalities? Two great personalities, right? These great personalities we say we have to follow 4 regulative principles. So they are the clear example of not following the 4 regulative principles in very simple terms. So they were meat eaters, they were woman hunters, they were dacoits. And if we say what is synonymous to sin, we can say Jagai and Madai. So they were very infamous for their abominable activities. So it is said that if Jagai and Madai's shadow fell upon anybody, they used to go and jump in the Ganges to atone themselves. Just imagine the situation. They were so corrupted people. So when Nityananda Prabhu heard about them, what do you think was his reaction? His eyes became wide like Lord Jagannath. And his eyes started dilating. And he told Haridas Thakura, Haridasa, you know, Haridasa, they are the actual people who are supposed to be the recipients of the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. No Haribol. So this shows how much of compassion did Nityananda Prabhu have to deliver the most sinful personalities. So we need not worry about ourselves because we are not as bad as Jagai and Madai, but we have some elements of Jagai and Madai. Right? Right? But the minute you start chanting the holy name, that also goes. That also evaporates in the thin air. So, he said, Nityananda Prabhu mentioned, and Haridas Thakura was wondering, why Nityananda, you are so anxious to deliver them? He said, what Haridas? You got beaten in 22 marketplaces, but you are actually praying for these Mughals. Yes or no? So similarly, I want to deliver these 2 people, and they are actually the best recipients of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's compassion. And if they get delivered, everybody will fall in place in Sankirtan. So one day, there was a huge crowd. In India, what happens when there's a crowd? What will happen? You will go park your scooter or 2-wheeler and just go and see what is happening. Yes or no? How many of you have experienced it? We want to know what is happening in somebody's place. So there was a big crowd and there was commotion. Big commotion. There was an exhibition. And what is the exhibition? Jagai and Madai, the great personalities, were fully drunk. So when they drink, what happens? They started sometimes singing. They sing, they cry. Then they start rolling. I can't exhibit it here. They start rolling. What Vaishnavas do, they also do. But Vaishnavas' consciousness is towards Krishna. Their consciousness, they don't have consciousness at all. So they were doing like this. And after some time, what had happened? Both of them were pulling each other's hair. And everybody was liking this exhibition. They were completely intoxicated. Their eyes were rolling, laughing, crying, rolling. Now Nityananda Prabhu became very excited. Now I will start giving them nice what? Instruction about developing love towards Krishna. So Nityananda Prabhu goes to Jagai and Madai. So he says, my dear Jagai, my dear Madai, hey, who's this? Please, please, I beg you, please give up these bad habits. Because the consequences that comes out of this bad habit will actually completely destroy you. You are being gifted a human body. It is a rare thing to get a human body. Yes or no? And you are completely wasting this opportunity. श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर भगवान की, चैतन्य महाप्रभु की, नित्यानंद प्रभु की, पंचतत्वा की, नरसिंहदेव भगवान की. गुरु परंपरा की, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की, पिताई गौर प्रेमानंदे. So, for 10 minutes, I promise. Jai. How many Boga we have offered today, the Lordship? You're not counted? Okay. 125. Haribo! So the two brothers became very furious. And what they say? How dare you advise us? When you give milk to the snake, what happens? No, when you give milk to the snakes, it may not bite. But don't try that. When you give milk to the snake, what happens? Its poison increases. So when good things are told to bad people, that bad qualities actually increase. So, what had happened? Jagai and Malai started chasing Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakura. So they were having a marathon race. And they could not compete somehow or the other. What had happened? Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakura escaped. So they narrated this whole incident to whom? To Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, I feel like using my Sudarshan Chakra to vanquish them. So Nityananda Prabhu said, you can do it in Kalki Avatar. Now, don't do it. Leave it to us. Main hu na, I'll take care. Don't worry. You have a completely different purpose. And he gave a very nice example. Who gave a nice example? Nityananda Prabhu gave a nice example. To whom? To the Supreme Lord. It is like showing torchlight to sun. So he said, in the Satya Yuga, good and the bad were in different planets. Good and the bad were in two different planets. Hiranyaksha and Varaha. Good and the bad. In the Treta Yuga, the good and the bad were in the same planet, but in different countries. Lord Ramachandra was in Bharatavarsha and Ravana was in Sri Lanka. Then in Dwapara Yuga, the good and the bad were in the same planet, same country, and the same family. Pandavas and the Kauravas. So what about Kali Yuga? Same person. Morning, I am very, very sattvic. Afternoon, I am actually full of passion. And in the evening, gone case. Complete tamasic. So that is what was explained. So Nityananda Prabhu again went to meet Jagai. So this time what had happened? Madai became very, very angry. So Madai was already drunk. He was already drunk and he was using a broken pot to actually drink his liquor. And with that particular broken pot, he flung it on Nityananda Prabhu and it went just above his eye, cut his forehead, and he was actually completely bleeding. At that point of time, what did Nityananda Prabhu say? He said, the pain that you are inflicting on yourself by not being Krishna conscious is more than the pain that you have inflicted me by throwing this half-broken pot on my forehead. This was what was told by Nityananda. And again, he fell at the feet of Jagai and Madai. And when this happened, Madai became even more angry, and he was tried to take one more stone, and again he wanted to harm Nityananda Prabhu. At that point of time, what had happened? Jagai stopped him. He said, don't be mad. Nityananda Prabhu is our friend. He's so compassionate. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Has anybody shown this kind of compassion? It is only Nityananda Prabhu who has shown this compassion. And he stopped Madai from further inflicting pain. Now what had happened? This news went to whom? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was actually roaring like a lion. And he summoned whom? Summoned the Sudarshana Chakra. And Sudarshana Chakra, with so many, with so much of, it was completely rotating at such a pace that it would have cut both Jagai and Madai in few microseconds. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and anyone who inflicts pain on my devotees, I will be the death personified. Then immediately Nityananda Prabhu went and fell at Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet, and he said, please forgive them. And you said, you know one thing? I said, yes. Jagai actually saved me. What? Jagai actually saved me. When Madai was about to hit him the second time, Jagai actually saved me. The minute Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this, what did he do? He went to Jagai and embraced him so tightly. Jagai's body was shivering. His throat started quivering. His teeth started rattling. Supreme Personality of Godhead has given a tight embrace. He said, now I'm giving you this. In presence of everybody, you will be my eternal associate. After hearing this, what did Madai say? He is my partner in crime. He is my partner in crime. If you are hugging me, you have to hug me also. Then what happened? He said, I will never give you any blessing because you have inflicted pain to my dear Nityananda Prabhu. So if you want the same benediction as I've given to Jagai, go and fall at Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet. And then I will give you the benediction. The minute he told, Nityananda Prabhu himself went to Madai, gave him a tight embrace, and then both of them became devotees. So this was before. How nicely they look, right? They look nice? No, right? So after this, what happened? How they looked? They look like, say Haribol! So this was the greatness of the pastime of Nityananda Prabhu. So thank you very much. I've got a few more slides, but we have already crossed the time. We have to do Aarti now. And then I'm sure most of us here are fasting. So we have to honor the prasadam after that. Prasadam has also arrived. When the prasadam arrives, what happens? The nice aroma enters our nostrils. And from then, what happens? You'll start feeling hungry. So it is prasadam, so no problem. Only bhoga we should not enjoy, because he is the enjoyer. So thank you very much for your patient hearing. So let us all chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra once. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Nityananda Prabhu ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Thai Gaura Premanande.
Hare Krishna. So thank you very much, Prabhu, for the lecture, for the wonderful class. I think devotees will remember two things. One is Nityananda Mahaprabhu's mercy, second is Gulab Jamun. These two are repeated more. Transcendentally.
When we catch the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, it is like actually consuming gulab jamun. Yeah. It is so sweet and so soft.
Very good. So, very wonderful class, very Prabhuji made enlightening, so that nobody is left. Only when class is there, people closing goes up. But in spite of fasting, Prabhu explained it so nicely that everybody was very much enthused. Right, Prabhu? Everybody was enthused to hear the message of Nityananda Prabhu and the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. So wonderful, Prabhu. Thank you very much. So take a last 1 week effort to prepare this class. So much effort he put so that everybody gets the inspiration to take up the chanting of 20 names. We'd like to thank very heartily from our heart. Before that, thank you, Prabhu. Anybody want to ask any questions or comments, anything? Please raise your hand. Any questions on Nityananda Prabhu or on Gulab Jamun? I think that Prabhu said everybody is looking for Arti and Prasad.
Yes.
Transcendental